This is our little Jayco. We peeled the roofing up, and once we got the roofing up, this is a 1/4 inch roof deck. That's what it is. Really thin. So we've got a few screws in here that we'll need to, well, actually those are nails, they just pinned it in there. But we're going to replace the roof deck because it's that thin. We got a little bit of rot right here. We got some over there by the antenna. These are the common problems that we stress when these things come in here. You know, the way they do them at the factory, they're just wrong. So we'll pull them up, we'll get some new decking on here, and then we'll show you where we're at with the rest of it. Alright, over here this little Jayco, and we've got some rot issues on here. We got some rot right here, and we also have some rot up there. That's the antenna, that's the plumbing. So we're going to attend to that, and we're going to peel it up and replace those areas, patch them in. But some of the other things that we noticed is you have a piece of that. Lift that edge up there so it can show up underneath the. There's one screw left in there, but it's not glued down. That's what we want to show you. Look at all the damage on here. It's all delaminated. So there's no glue in there. These really need to be glued. They've got these little screws in there, and they stitched it in there, but you still need to have some glue. The glue really helps hold this whole thing together. A lot of people don't realize that the glue does that much work, but in an airplane, about 50% of the products used in an airplane is adhesives. So it takes a lot of the shock. It acts like a buffer as this racks and bounces around, and it keeps the stress off the screws and the fasteners. You know, the adhesive kind of absorbs that. So that's what we're going to do, and then we'll see what's underneath it. So we're going to peel this up, replace you know, this section, and then glue it back down and fasten it back down. You put too many screws in these things, you can tend, I'm not saying these are, but you can tend to split those tiny little trusses that are up underneath there. So we use a staple gun that's designed for sheathing, so we don't split anything, but you would really rip the sheathing up, meaning the plywood. You'd rip it up before you get the staple out. So that's what we're working on. All right, let's give you an update of where we're at. We got the decking off. You can see there's no glue at all on these trusses. You really need to have them on there. Then we'll show you these little screws that they used. These are the tiny little screws they used. Those there, this was 1/4 inch decking that they put on there, which isn't very good. And then they use these little 3/4 inch screws right here. That's it, not even an inch screw. So those aren't really going to hold very well. But also when this thing racks and twists and everything going down the road through campsites and, you know, dirt roads and whatnot to get where you want to go camping, you know, it really takes a toll on the roof. So overall it looks pretty dry. We've got a couple areas we're going to look at over there, and then there's one, and then this one here. It looks more just stained than it is rotted. It sounds real solid there. So, but one of the other things that I usually find on here is these wires. These are your 120 wires right here that come up for power. They come in there, they serve the air conditioner over there. And one of the big concerns I have, you can see that little metal ferrule in there. That is very sharp. This is what happens to it. See if I can get a good eyeball on this for you. See how it's starting to compromise it? It's starting to pinch it. What you don't want to have happen, yeah, this one is the same. Got this other one. They're kind of tight. I'm having even trouble pulling them out. There's one here. You can see it's already starting to wear into it. That's pretty deep right there. So what'll happen is you go down the road and then boom, no electricity. And you say, hey, what happened? You're blowing circuit breakers because it's shorting out and everything. There's a simple fix for this. Right here. These are little bushings. That's all they are. I got them over there at Home Depot. I think this whole bag cost me like maybe 50 cents or so. And there's like 8 of them in there. So you're only looking like maybe 6.2 cents a piece. Little plastic pieces, and they actually go inside here like this, and that'll protect the sharpness from that ferrule. That's what it's called, that metal ferrule. That'll protect it from it, so it won't get all compromised like it is now. So we're going to put those in and get them in there, and I'll put one in here, and I'll check these too. You have some more. It looks like none of those ones don't have a ferrule in it. They usually only do them on the ones that have actual power to them. The ones that have actual, 120 power. So, well, I'm going to put them in and get this phone, and then I'll show you what we got. Did you get that in there?
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll just probably have to trim it. You got to squeeze it around a little tighter in there.
Yeah. Just set it sideways.
There you go. We'll get another one in there. Now that'll protect it from that ferrule, and we'll get this one in here too. Okay, so we got them in there. Right there, right there. I'll check around the rest. And then just as I was moving this, I noticed this one started hitting against this little gusset right here. So we're going to protect that as well and get that squared away. And check the rest of them. See, these don't have the ferrules in them. They just drill the holes because these aren't really power wires. Some of them are just 12 volt. But I do have one more over here I got to get. Like so, I'll go on the other side. I doubt there's anything on the other side, but still, I'll go around there and check just the same. I don't see anything here. Yep, there's one right there. So we'll get another one right here. Then we got two more right here. So we'll get a couple more in there. See how bad those are. Wow, that one you can actually see some gouging in that one pretty bad too. And this one pinched. That's really tight too, so you know there's some compromise under this one here. We're gonna sneak them out up underneath there. Like I said, this one don't seem like they have it, just these here. So I got one, two, three more there. Got a fourth one here. Yeah, there's more in the stock room. Yeah, this one's a lot loose, more loose than the others. The other one's really tight. But like I said, we'll get them in on these two. Let's see what we got. Yep, so just those there. So we're going to put some more in there and get them all fixed up. Then we're going to glue the decking down. And then we're going to fasten it down with the bigger staples too. And if you start putting too many screws in here, and that's why they're so far apart. But this wood grain, that's real thin. Anybody who's done any woodworking know if you keep going up the same line there and putting too many screws in, or even nails, you're going to end up splitting that board. That's the whole design and the purpose of the staples. It'll hold better. So, and even on here though, like on the edge, this is the side of the camper. On the side here, they use staples to hold that edge down, which is pretty good. They're just small staples, though. Just really pee-wee staples. So we're going to put some better staples in there that'll really hold. They got a lot of holding power to them. Okay, so here we get our bushings in there. Little wire protectors in there. We get them all in now on this side. Then I showed you this earlier. See, that's just discolored. There's nothing wrong with that at all. It's just a little discolored. So we'll just, whatever dust or dirt's on there, obviously we'll clean up so the glue will stick. And we're going to get ready to redeck this thing. And when we do, we're just going to run over all of this. So the next video you probably see, or the next clip, you may see all these blocked over. We do that because then we just roll the roofing out and we go inside, we'll cut the decking out. It's a lot easier. But also it's not a trip hazard or a step-in hazard for us. And it keeps the roofing down better. Like right now we have these in here. If we were to have left the other decking on there, that was just 1/4 inch. When you walked on it, it cracked. And I'm a petite 225. I don't know if you can use that in the same sentence, petite and 225, but I am. And but this is to prevent us from falling through or anything, or tripping on it, getting ankle twister or something. So we're getting her done. I think we got all of those red heads on there, those bushings. I think we got all those in there. Yep. A little Jayco update. You see we got the decking down so far. We got a few sheets. And then we've got some glue going down right here, some adhesive. Then we're going to fasten it down just a second here. Fancy power gun right there. There's awesome adhesive right there. It's actually a sealant and an adhesive. You can use it to, it'll caulk the coaches up like around the windows and around turn bar. And it's an incredibly strong adhesive. Much better than liquid nails. And I'd get it right here. There. Center. Yep. We'll have to roll it around after we fasten it. Yep. You can see how those staples are so strong, it's pulling the whole piece down when it shoots it. Stuck it right down in there. There you go. We'll sew a couple more in there. Sew it up. Okay, on our Jayco, we've got all our protective strips on the edges. We've got all that down. Got it all up there. Just got one more piece to put in right here to protect this corner. It'll fit in just like that. It's already glued. We're going to get the roof, the actual material. We're going to put that on there. We're going to actually get some primer on these, and then we'll be putting the roofing on in a second. Now we're going to roll out the roofing. We already got the glue on there. You can see the sheen. We're going to roll it out. Get that tape measure down that side there. Now we roll it out. Then we'll cut out for the air conditioner, we'll cut out for the vents, the plumbing and everything. We take our shoes out so we don't mark up the roof. What we got here is a curb for the antenna. We're just screwing it down. We're going to weld it in a second. You can hear the air gun in the background. We've already got the air conditioning unit welded down. We've got that skylight welded down. That plumbing boot there, and we've got another plumbing boot we got to weld down. And then what we're doing right now over here is you have to put a primer on these. That's what we're doing. Jayco says put a primer on there. Make sure everything bonds well. And we'll end up putting some on there as well. Anywhere we got to put sealant or anything like that all gets primed. check the joint. The edge there, make sure it's sealed good. If we need to get a little bit more heat on it. And then we roll it down. It puts a nice little bead on the end of it. It just looks real clean. Alright, this is our Jayco. We are done. We got everything welded in, all our boots in there. We got everything all set. We got the antenna down, got our little, just a support that we put up underneath there, that's all. Some of the other things that we do is just go along the tops of the lights. We do all that just to make sure that if there's, if someone says, hey, I got a leak, I don't want to mistake a light leak for a roof leak, because it's not going to leak. Got the antenna down. You can see our little strips in there, our protective strips. Everything's been double sealed. All the caulking that goes along the termination bar has all been double sealed. So we're good to roll. We've got a little flash detail up in the front. Got that up there, right up under the air conditioner. That's so when water comes down on the top part of that air conditioner, they're always more forward. You can see how the front is more forward than the sides and the back. So I just don't want anything to even get up in there to the foam gasket that's up underneath there. So that little piece that you see actually goes under the cover, and then it goes over the flash, the flange that we made, the flash flange, that's heat welded on there.